Let's check in now on the eastern leg of the Pro Farmer Crop Tour. We're now joined by Oliver Sloup. He is with Blueline Futures. You might recognize him from either Bar Chart or AgWeb. Thank you, Oliver, for being with us. Quick, if you could, tell me a little bit about Blueline.
Sure. Blueline Futures is an independent futures and commodities brokerage firm. We're headquartered out of the Chicago Board of Trade. We've got a great team in-house that, as you mentioned, puts out a lot of great daily content. My niche area is the grain and livestock markets, and my colleagues cover precious metals, energies, indices, etc. So we've got, again, a great team in-house that puts together a lot of great information, kind of give our clients a playbook for the day and what's going on in the markets.
You have a great deal of historical depth there at the CME Group, particularly in the CBOT with Lynn Waldock. I read about that. I'm looking forward to hearing what you've been seeing on the Eastern Leg. First, are you traveling the same area you normally do, and how many years have you done that?
This is my fourth year. And we are on a different route than we have had in the years prior. We're on a split route, so half of our crew covers one half of the route, and then we're covering the other half. And we're obviously started in Ohio with a meeting last night. So the other half of our team is checking Ohio. We jump straight over into Indiana. And so far, from what we've seen, it's kind of been lackluster. The USDA set a really, really high bar on expectations. And I think even prior to the USDA, people had pretty lofty expectations of what was out there. But the tip back seems to be a reoccurring theme that I didn't think that we would see as frequently. Now we're only, 6, 7, 8 stops in so far today, but it has popped up more frequently than I would have guessed. So something interesting of note there. I talked to a farmer in Bernay, Indiana earlier this morning, and he was talking about the similarities between this year and last year and talking about the need for moisture and rain. They've got a 50% chance tomorrow, and then after that, there's really nothing on the forecast for 10 days or so. So they still need some rain to finish these crops out.
You are headed eventually to just north of Indianapolis. Where does your route run today?
So we started kind of hopped over near Fort Wayne and just working our way through Adams County, Wells County, Blackford, Jay, Madison, Grant, etc. Then we'll just stop, as you mentioned, just north of Indianapolis. So we're probably about halfway done through the day. Still got a lot of fields to check. But I think even talking with other scouts that I've formed relationships with throughout the years, living up to the expectations that the USDA put, I think is going to be pretty difficult to do as of now.
Do you have a running tally on the tour average so far for your route?
For our route, I don't have it averaged out, but we've seen a pretty wide range. I think the lowest that we have is 161, and the highest right now is 235. So kind of right in the middle. Historically, looking at how that compares to last year, maybe about the same, maybe a little bit better in some of these counties. But again, to the lofty expectations that have been set, I would say we're falling short of that.
That's Oliver Sloup of Blueline Futures. He's on the eastern leg of the Pro Farmer Crop Tour. Now joining us from the western leg is Sherman Newlin. We know him from Risk Management Commodities. However, there is an incorporation between Risk Management and Zaner Ag Hedge. Thank you, Sherman, in your new capacity. You're traveling out west with, eventually, Ted Seifert, who's also going to be on our program. Thank you for being with us. And I bet you're looking forward to the new adventure and collaboration between these two companies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we merged with them. Karen Braun came on board as well. So I think that's going to be a huge plus with her analysis. So I think when you put it all together, we're going to be able to offer clients, hopefully a lot better insight, and analysis into what the markets might be doing and where they might be going.
Now, I know you're traveling with Karen today, and she does the data work. Do you have a route average for corn and soybeans so far, and how many places have you visited in South Dakota?
We do, sir, yes. We've had 10 stops in South Dakota. Soybeans, 1,331 pod average. That's up 7% year over year. Corn, we've got a 185.3 average. That is up 22% year over year, which was last year was 152.4. So far, I mean, most of the stops have been better.
And so you're in a pretty decent area of South Dakota. Is it irrigated or non-irrigated?
Some of it's irrigated. Now, we haven't sampled any irrigated fields.
I bet you have been impressed if that's dryland fields in that case.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it rained last night. So, we got mud sticking to our shoes on every stop. So basically, we headed straight south out of Sioux Falls, Todd, and then we went over to the west a couple of counties and then jogged back south and worked our way down to Yankton.
How many years have you run this particular route, and how does it compare to the past?
This is my fifth year running this route. This is my 8th year on tour. But yeah, comparing, to the past, it's better. You can just tell we are finding some disease. There is some southern rust and, a little bit of gray leaf spot out through there. But, overall, the plant conditions, it's lush, it's green. Things look pretty darn good. From everything that we've seen. It's if we have a good finish, I think they've got a good potential for some, really good crops. I mean, one of our stops we had on corn a 272 average. That was our third stop on the day. And then our last stop in Yankton County, we had an average of 221.9.
Those are some stellar yields for that part of the world.
Yeah. No, yes, yes, it is. And we had some 140s and some 190s in there. But yeah, we've had some pretty good, yields, and pods are too. I mean, the pod count's up. I think our first stop, we had over 1,500 pods, 1,552 pods which is significantly higher than what it usually is. So, one of our stops we had 2,014 pods. So pod count's up, if we can finish, I think they're going to have a, pretty darn good bean crop out here as well. But the corn, everything is, yards are lush, everything's green. Overall, things are looking pretty good for this area.
All right. Thanks much, Sherman. We'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Sherman Newlin is traveling on the western leg of the Pro Farmer Crop Tour. He's in South Dakota today. Last year, the Pro Farmer Tour showed a 155.51 bushel to the acre yield. USDA has this year at 168 bushels to the acre.